The GSF 2021 All-Star Draft is presented by Summit Partners, leaders in growth equity investing. GetSportsFocus is brought to you by Summit Partners, leaders in growth equity investing. Weightsandbars.com. Build your home gym and shop locally from the Bay Area's best fitness equipment experts. Ike's Love and Sandwiches. Championship level sandwiches every single time. South Bay Construction. A reputation built on trust. And by Sunnyvale Fitness. And now, from the GSF studios at Sunnyvale Fitness, it's the GSF All-Star Draft Show.
And he's just a dog.
I think he could fit into any system.
Yeah.
So
Ethan, let me ask you this: who is? I know you picked Matt, but do you have a second quarterback?
Yeah, I've got Sergio Beltran from Menlo. He was still hanging around the draft board towards the end. Got him at 76 overall. I was kind of deciding between him and McLeod and lucked out that Sergio was still there. Also got two guys who kind of made brief cameos at QB, even though they play other positions. Charlie Pfeiffer and Nate Escalada. Pfeiffer from SI, Escalada from Bellarmine. See them more on defense, but they run some trick play packages with them. Oh, honestly, I also want to run a trick play where I have Jurion throw the ball. Have you ever seen Jurion's arm?
He can handle that ball.
During one of the spring games, there was a kickoff blown dead for offsides, and he threw it back across like the entire field like it was nothing. Yeah. He's got a powerful arm. You know, if it comes down to it, as much as you want him catching a Hail Mary, wouldn't mind having him throw it too. I mean, you can trust him to throw it from your own half of the field to the opposing end zone. He's got a power
arm. Coach Romero. How many St. Francis guys do you have?
Do I?
I don't know. I see a lot of... So this list is full of St. Francis and Sarah. Those are the top two teams, okay? There's some De La Salle. I mean, those are the top two. That's the number one and number two team in NorCal, right? It just makes sense.
I just looked. I don't have any St. Francis guys.
Oh, really?
I got at least three here. Because I got Bobadilla, Teu, and then my very next pick after Teu, Uluwakanofo Taliali, the three-star lineman.
I was going to pick DeRosa, and then you picked them right before I did.
Yes.
Remember? And then I was very upset. I really like DeRosa. He's one of the... I feel like he's one of the most talented linemen out here, too. I like his game. I like his film. The way he pulls, the way he moves. Yeah, he's nasty. So you stole him from me.
Yeah, I did. So for Coach Romero, which one was your like steal? Like, oh my God, I got this guy. Like, not Luther Glenn, because he's still up there. But I'm talking about like later rounds.
I'm gonna speak on Naziah Hunter from Salinas.
Killed me that I didn't get.
And I just stumbled upon him on accident because when you're on Twitter and you're looking up all these guys and they suggest guys like, suggest look at this guy, and I'm like, okay, I'll click on his thing, and then I watched the film, and it was like, wow, this kid he's up there with the other guys that we just all named off the top, like 15 picks. I think he's super underrated. I haven't seen him live, but talking to my man over here, he's next level. So I'm definitely gonna catch a Salinas game next season.
If you show,
gotta go to the pit.
If you show the highlights of the game against Hollister, I know you were filming that one. It goes in the books as like, I don't know, 23-yard touchdown, but he ran like 80 yards, went from one sideline to the other, just went around everybody. Pretty good defensive back too.
Yeah.
Even when they faced MA's DBs, he hung in there. He burned them on a couple of plays.
And I remember when you interviewed him, and I was like standing next to you, I was like, holy cow, this guy's an underclassman.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dang.
Heard he's a good basketball player too.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a straight up athlete. What about you, Ethan? Which one was your like surprise pick?
I mean, I guess Silas
you were happy
Balibi at
about it.
31. Silas
one?
Balibi at 31 was a huge one for me. The Sacred Heart Cathedral defense has been amazing all year. He's one of the best defensive tackles around.
Number 99.
Very high academic, really smart kid. Very minimal football experience because his family moved here from Ethiopia. He's got crazy talent. Also, TJ Takafua from Fremont Sunnyvale. Doesn't get a lot of love being in the El Camino division, but he was their primary running back, even though he's 310 pounds. You could use him as a fullback, you could use him as a tight end, defensive end. He was amazing. I mean, gun coach Jason Miller had said it was like, trying to stop a train, and gun beat them by 30. Also, later round, Shea O'Kelly, one of the best tacklers around from SHP.
Yes.
He was a big one. Patello late round. Sam Betts, really good all-around guy. And Elijah Monroe from Westmont. I don't think he gets anywhere near the amount of attention he deserves. Took him 52nd overall. A little bit on the smaller side, but you can use him a little bit like Hassan Mahassan, throw to him, hand it off to him, whatever. He makes plays. And he was, even though Westmont finished towards the middle of the pack in their division, I think he might have been the top individual player out of the BVAL Santa Teresa, the B division there.
Yeah. I think when I look at this list, it's like the guys in the 60s, 70s, 80s. I mean, there's some really good guys in the late round. I was really happy with Joseph Bay at 65 for my team, and Matthew Carrick, the kicker. He didn't have a good finals against Sarah, but did you guys know that he's a judo black belt?
I didn't know that.
You can see it on kick coverage.
Yeah. He can track you down and they just smack it down. What about you, Coach Romero? Talk about, like, I'm looking at here. I'm trying to figure out here. Yeah. You have some ballers late round too.
There's a few guys here, man, and there's like, so you threw it out there like let's it's open to the NCS, and Ethan was here, focus more CCS, and so I was like, well, let me dig more on that side. I found a kid named Robbie Mascheroni from Campo Lindo, what a stud, man! I fell in love with the kid, man. Like, I picked that kid. If I was a college coach and recruiting, he's getting recruited. Yeah, I think he has.
What class is he?
I think he's 22.
Okay.
He has a school.
He's 23 according to this list.
Is he 23? Okay.
I'm gonna look him up right now. Try to find what he's got.
I think he has someone like Ole Miss or Pitt or something.
Yeah.
So it was.
Yeah, Pitt's been recruiting the Bay Area.
Yeah. Well.
He's got Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Yeah. So great athlete, great wide receiver. Who else? I found a kid named Selasa. I'm like, I can't pronounce his father.
Alessi Moala?
Yeah. And from school.
Dude, he was at the RBC Coach Younger's event. Yeah, that dude. He locked down Jurion.
Wow.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, I got him at safety on my team. He's from Rancho Cote. I didn't even heard of that school.
Oh, Sai Vadrawale.
Yeah.
Sai Vadrawale.
Yeah, I guess we're just, I'm usually focused on the CCS, and, there's a lot of schools in the NCS. There's a lot of schools in the NCS, so it was kind of fun to branch out, do a little homework, watch some film, and, find guys that I would not normally find. There's guys from Benicia.
Yes, I see that. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, Miles Bailey, Crux Stewart. Those are some like highly recruited guys, and I watched their film, and I can see why. I don't. The other guy too. They had a couple other guys too. They got some ballers on that team.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did in the playoffs. Do you know even where they ended up?
Benicia?
Yeah.
I think they got knocked out I think they made it to the finals and lost to Windsor, or lost in the semifinals to Los Lobos. I know they were in D3 and they won at least one game.
Windsor's good.
Okay.
They had a good season too.
Chase Vaymeyer, their QB.
I was happy with Mixon at 83.
That was one I was going to mention. Saturday against Chico, he was everywhere.
Yeah.
Running the ball, even had a receiving touchdown.
Talk about next level. I mean, that kid's definitely next
Like that you got Andrew Stewart at 86 too. 3-year varsity, high academic.
And I got Champ! Number 89. He's a freshman. And I kind of had a feeling Coach Romero was saving him. And I'm like, no, I'm taking him.
Man, I was going to make that kid like the last overall pick. I mean, he deserves it.
Did you hear that? He said you'll be the last pick.
He's a freshman. But he deserves it. I've known the kid since he was this small. I coached his older cousin. And so I've known the kid and I've seen him growing up, and I'm really happy for all the success he's has.
He's gonna be
a stud. He's got 3 more years left, man. It's gonna be crazy to watch what happens with him.
Want to also give a little recognition to a couple of guys from my alma mater, Burlingame. I got Will Urick at 58. Will Urick's a receiver and corner. He's going to be at Arizona as a preferred walk-on, but he looks like a scholarship player.
He's going to earn that.
He's going to get that scholarship quickly.
Yes.
Good basketball player, too. Took 4 charges in the game last year. And then with one of my last picks, actually my very last pick, 88, got Charlie Koch, his teammate, kind of a slot receiver, can also play tight end or wide out. Stick him at safety, stick him at corner, kind of plug-and-play guy. And those two made Burlingame, usually a wing T team, into a big play offense this year.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but my list, I listed the height and weight of all my All-Stars, and I didn't pick anybody that is below 6 feet. That was my standard.
Except for the judo black belt.
Except for the judo black belt, the assassin, yes. But number 41, number 44, number 47, and number 50, those guys are going to be up there next year. Well, except for the seniors. Actually, they're all seniors, except for Logan Saldate is 41. Sione Laulea, I stole him from Coach Romero. Mark Eby. Leland. Raphael Saucy Campbell. That kid's a stud. He's going to play in Santa Cruz.
Evie was to the Mount Hamilton what Sam Betts was to the Santa Teresa division.
Yes.
Running back, linebacker, kind of do a little of everything.
Betts is in here, right?
Yep, I got Betts at 67th overall.
Nice.
And also, my 70th overall pick, sophomore kicker Isaac Mancera from Salinas, drilled a 42-yarder to close the season.
I remember him, yes.
He's going to be really good. I wish, there were a few guys that slipped through. Anyone you want to shout out that didn't get drafted that deserves some credit? Because I had a list of like 30 more guys I would have liked to take.
I'll go first. Nicholas Andrighetto.
He was on my list.
He should have been.
He's on my list too.
He should have been here. But like I said, like with the process that we did, like, what do you need, right? You got to
filling a team.
it.
Yeah, you're filling a team.
Yeah. And, one guy that made my list is Matt Doherty. And he only played, I think, 2 or 3 games. Why did I pick him over Matthew Perry? Over Joshua Perry, who, took the Lancers all the way to CCS championship. Because I see a lot of, upside. He's 6'5", 220, quarterback. He got hurt against SI, I think.
I think towards the end of that De La Salle game.
Yeah, De La Salle. Well, he threw that touchdown that won the game. But I can't wait to see him next year. Mm-hmm. And I like how he plays. I think he's gonna be something next year if he does end up playing. So excited to see the WCL quarterbacks.
Well, anytime you upset De La, I mean that's huge. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
that's crazy.
There's not a lot of De La Salle guys on this list, which is because we didn't really get a chance to cover it.
Try to drive out there on a Friday night. Try to drive through Highway 24.
Exactly.
Traffic's nuts.
I got a guy, Cooper Powers, De La Salle, lineman. I think he's highly recruited. I watched his film. Very nice film.
I have one Clayton Valley guy, Amari Cormier.
Yeah.
6'3", 260 defensive end. Yeah, they're. I mean, Wyatt Hook, 32, from Homestead.
His brother Will's going to be pretty good, too.
Yeah.
That family's got some talent, big body tight ends.
He is 6'6", 230.
Basketball, too.
And I saw him play, and I was super impressed. I mean...
What year is he?
Wyatt Hook is a senior. He's graduating.
One of the Hook brothers is a senior, the other's a sophomore.
Okay, so
they both start with W.
That's the other one. I think the other one got sophomore of the year in the Dianza. that's pretty big time.
So that's pretty much the All-Star teams, the GSF All-Star teams.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at the list, and you're on the list,
Yeah, Wyatt's the sophomore, Will's the senior.
Oh, Coach Romero had one pick over here in the 30s.
Okay.
I thought we made an agreement that if the kid's hurt, they can't be drafted. But he drafted Hassan Demis Al Mahasin, my first pick from the spring. Why did you do that?
I don't. Maybe I missed the message that we weren't picking injured guys, but he was still there, and I needed to pick somebody, and why not?
I think that's why I ended up picking up Matthew Doherty from St. Francis.
Okay.
I want to give a little recognition to a couple of guys who didn't get drafted, in part because we drafted while the playoffs were still going.
Yes.
If we had done this after the Sarah St. Francis rematch, Leo Galindo would have made it because he's not just booming 49-yarders, but he improved a ton in the secondary. Ryan Silver played both ways on the line that night.
Yes.
Can't believe we let him slip through the cracks. Bunch of other good ones. Rossi O'Terry from Christopher, one of the top tacklers in the section.
Oh, yeah.
Shows you just how much good talent there is that we were each picking 30 guys. And, Quinn McCauley from Half Moon Bay is another one who would go very highly. It's a deep class this year.
And even Miller, the quarterback from Sacred Heart Cathedral. Is it quarterback or receiver?
Miller's a receiver and corner.
Well,
Ray John at QB, though.
Yes, Spears.
Yeah, Spears would absolutely.
Yeah, those guys. They're young. They're going to be back next year, so I'm pretty sure
Spears is a senior. Miller, I think, is a junior.
Yeah.
Kendrick Sanders playing well for them.
How much of media coverage do you think played a role in this list? The guys that you see on the Merc and Prep to Prep and GetSportsFocus.
I think the teams that post their stats and highlights every week definitely have an advantage. If you can see a guy's stats on Max Preps without having to reach out and contact people, that helps.
Yes.
And
I totally agree.
Every single guy on my list was a guy that I've seen in person at least once.
Yeah.
That's why a few really good players I didn't go after because I didn't have a chance to see their team, such as Reardon this year. There were some guys that I went for because I liked what I saw when I saw them in person. They had, one or two plays that just really stuck out or one big game.
Same goes for me. Pretty much everybody that I picked, I saw in person. And, I'd say there's a handful of guys that I saw, and, if you look at their entire season, they're maybe a little above average, but for the most part, they performed when I was there, like Kifu, and I'm like, dude, this guy's an all-star.
Yeah.
I'm going to draft this guy.
Sam Betts was good all year, but one of his best games was that Westmont League game, which I think we were both at.
We were both there, yes.
Thursday night game, easy to get coverage on a Thursday.
And then Coach Romero, you just know how to break film. You
you guys are all at the games. I'm coaching on Friday nights, so I don't get to, see too many games, but unless the ones that I see live, like, Luther Glenn.
Exactly.
But most part, Huddle and Max Preps are my best friends and Twitter, so just there's a lot of research. I was basically a scout during this whole process.
Did you guys play against Prospect?
No.
Because Andre Jackson from Prospect, I remember him as a sophomore, great late round pick there.
Yes.
Shout
out to Andre.
I've known Andre since he was a kid. I coached his older brother when I was a head coach at Prospect, and it's been great to see Andre develop and grow into the player he is today. Great kid. Any college coaches out there, definitely somebody you want on your roster. Difference maker. Check him out. He's just had a bad luck. We had a pandemic. Wiped out half his junior year, and then this year, the junior year's a big deal. A pandemic happening and wiping out half the year. That's just unfortunate for a kid like that. But he'll bounce back. I'm sure he'll find somebody, and somebody will find him. So Andre,
he's working out with our GSF 7-on-7 team.
Yeah,
and we have a group of coaches that can help him get to the next level. So yeah, I'm excited to have him around. He's a really good athlete, really good attitude.
And he led the section in receiving, if you guys don't know that. So
he did.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, it makes a difference when you coaches out there post your stats. And it also makes a difference when Ethan Castle is at your game. Because this guy posts everything. He's got interviews, he's got stats. That's why I just go to the games where he's going. Because he's complete. So,
always looking
show
for
some
close
love
games
to my
too.
man.
Looking for
Right?
close games. You know, some nights the top teams, you know they're going to win big. I'll look for
Yeah.
a close game.
Yeah.
I want to see a crazy finish.
So
Awesome.
if Ethan is at your game, you better ball. Because I'm just saying, like, he knows where to go.
I got
Moving on,
connections. I got people who tell me where to go.
There you go.
Check your sources.
Speaking of stats and all that stuff, we did something unique that's never been done before. And I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm just going to read off some lists. We have head coach, all-star head coach. We have an all-star venue. We have an all-star PA announcer. We have a all-star student section, all-star band, all-star cheer and dance, and all-star snack shack coming up right now. Ethan, who is your GSF All-Star coach?
I took Jalal Boschman from Bellarmine because he's done a lot with decent players. And it's one thing to be able to bring in good players, it's another to be able to work with what you have. And they've been so innovative. They've been coming up with all sorts of different schemes, really reinventing the process on the fly. And I think if you just give him decent players, and we got much more than decent players here, he can do a lot. And he's got a really good support staff, all Bellarmine alums, really young, energetic staff that the players really build good connections with.
Yeah, I like how you describe coach as a staff, because it's really not just the head guy, it's really the staff. And he's got something good going at Bellarmine. I'm really looking forward to seeing him progress like in the next few years. My all-star coach, I think this is a gimme. I mean, Patrick Walsh. Coach Walsh, we all know what he did over the COVID situation thing. He brought back high school sports. But that was 2021 spring. But this year, I mean, him and his staff really did a really good job with Sarah. And what I really like about that program is that they're at a whole different level.
Can you imagine what they would be able to do if they had the Allure playing on Friday nights? You know, they play on Saturdays. College coaches are busy on Saturdays, and they're still out there doing this.
Yeah.
And they lost their two biggest playmakers. Joey Villaroman got hurt in the spring, and Hassan. The game plan they drew up for the rematch with St. Francis, they only got in the end zone twice. That was amazing game planning.
That was super impressive. And yeah, I mean, Coach Walsh, his staff.
You don't want to play Sarah a second time. Teams that play
No.
Sarah a second time are in for a world of hurt.
Yeah.
I think when you talk about coaching, that coaching staff, they coach like 24/7. It's pretty amazing.
Bell and Monsef do great work there too.
Yeah,
That-
exactly. Their OCs can be head coaches elsewhere. So, but yeah, that's my all-star head coach. Congratulations, Coach Walsh. You are the GSF 5-star head coach, Coach Romero.
Man, I picked Chris Oswald from Cupertino. It's kind of like a homer pick. I know Chris Oswald. He was my high school coach in high school. Actually, he wasn't. Technically, he wasn't. Right before I was going to become a junior to be on varsity, he took a college job out in Missouri.
Had a great year.
Yeah.
Time for a league title, program that's usually an afterthought.
Yeah.
Big Oakland A's fan too. Love that.
he does great things. I mean, he made Cupertino 9-1, share league title, and he's been doing that consistently at that school. Having winning seasons. I just like this. I don't know. I think he's might be done in a few years. I'm not too sure, but I would like to see him with like a roster of like Sarah and St. Francis and see what that man can do.
He does more with less.
Yes.
What happens when you give him more?
Yeah.
I mean, I would just like to see what he could do with a roster like that. Like, he would kill it. I know he would. So that's my pick. And if he had this roster that I accumulated, he would destroy. Sorry,
I don't know,
he would
man.
destroy it, man. I think he would destroy it.
I pretty much have the Sarah's defense on my team.
Got that secondary. There's some-
Yeah.
I got to sit back the last couple of years on Chris's staff, and it was just more
That's
like,
awesome.
yeah, I got to just sit back and learn a little bit and just watch him do his thing, and it was great. So he's a great coach to watch. So
Awesome.
shout out. Shout out to Coach Oz, man. Keep doing it, man. Hope you do it for more. So
The quarterback, is he coming back?
yeah. So
Nice.
he's got a junior coming back. He's got a safety named Junior is coming back. I think he was first team All-League or something. And he's got linebackers coming back too. He's actually on our sevens.
It's a big lineman this year too.
Yeah.
Much bigger than your typical
awesome.
El Camino Division players.
So he's got some guys coming back next year, but I think they're moving up. So they
That's a huge achievement just to get Cupertino up. That would be awesome.
yeah. So that's my coach. That's my pick for my team here.
All right. Congratulations. All right. We got about 5 minutes before we have to end this, but let's breeze through this real quick. All-Star venue.
Well, you took the one I wanted. I think we got. You took the pit at Salinas, so I took Ron Calcagno Stadium at St. Francis, and you took Under the Lights, Under the Fog, Kezar.
Yes. Kezar! That's
Yeah.
my stadium. Natural grass. Still.
Kezar Pub right across the street's always a good time pre and post game. They actually had
Best
big
wing-
signs out there supporting the Irish.
Best
Yeah.
wings I've ever had are from the Kezar Pub.
Ah.
Delicious.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fun place before and after the Bruce Mahoney too.
Well, this one's different right here. PA announcer.
Now you took the guy from the pit, so I went with Mike Navridis from Los Gatos, who now could also be considered, a first responder helping to keep things calm at the CCS championship between Sarah and St. Francis.
That's true.
Very professional, very calm.
There you go.
I rolled with Andre Polizzi.
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. You're my all-star PA announcer. Actually, he was actually my all-star PA announcer for our basketball all-star game.
Great choice.
He's the guy. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. This is big. A lot of people can get mad at this. Student section. Ethan. Team hybrid. Who do you want at your game?
The St. Francis Rage Cage, because they turned out in huge numbers home and away. There are a bunch of others I was considering. Bellarmine, their big rivals. Baylor Country from San Benito, but had to go with the Rage Cage. They turned out home, away, Friday, Saturday, no matter when or where they played. They were awesome all year.
They were. I would have picked them, but I went with the next best student section, which is the De La Salle Spartans student section. They're called something.
12th man? I don't know. For basketball, they're the 6th man.
There's 6 men. Yeah, I mean, they have a name. I should know, but I'm more old school. I mean, I used to go to De La Salle games, and I used to remember just that end zone. It's like it's always full. All the guys are excited. It's an all-boys school, but they got girls there too, and
That's why I kind of wanted Salinas. They're an end zone student
Yeah.
section.
yeah, I think the end zones bleachers should be
When
an
Sarah
addition.
brought those in at the end of the year, those were
Exactly.
terrific.
That's what
Yeah.
it reminded me of. When Sarah had the end zone student bleachers, it kind of reminded me of De La Salle.
Oh, that was pretty cool when they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there.
So I think there's a connection there. Who's your student section?
All right, for my my student section, I picked MA. Man, those guys are they're all over the other team.
They did a lot of trash
Oh.
talking this year,
Yeah.
but they
Oh,
showed
the
up
MA,
all
right?
the way. The MA 12, they were trash talking everyone.
Yeah.
They got an edge.
Yeah, I think they have an Instagram that's going, and it's pretty brutal. I think.
Yeah, they were calling things out.
You're a nasty group of
Notorious.
students
Shout out
who
to
are
the
not afraid to
MA
talk
guys.
smack.
Man, they get after the other team right before the game, so that's something. So, MA for student section.
And your band?
My band's Valley Christian. Great band. They just rock it. So, shout out to those guys.
Marching band. I went with St. Francis. Always do a great job.
I went with Pitt.
And then
I
you
always
went-
get goosebumps when I see
They're
those guys
terrific.
come out. Yeah. Pittsburgh Pirates.
And then you went Valley Christian. They did a
yeah.
lot of big, tons of props. It's like a whole theatrical production almost. Honorable mention to Reardon's band as well, especially
Yeah.
for basketball. Can't have
What about
basketball without
Lee,
the
dude?
Crusader band.
They're not bad.
Haven't gotten to see them. I know
They compete.
Homestead's is impressive in
Okay.
competitions, and Christopher's as well.
No, this one's cool. Cheer and dance.
Midi. Great squad. I think I've seen them a couple times.
Award-winning.
Yeah.
Award,
So
yeah.
they
The Royals, right?
yeah.
That's what they're called?
Yeah.
I went with De La Salle Carondelet just because it's always they bring so much to the game that like the environment is enhanced when I see the cheer squad at De La Salle because there's a lot of girls there. Actually, all the EBAL teams, Foothill, Monte Vista, San Ramon. But I just went with De La Salle because I'm more familiar with them.
I went with Salinas, went with the
That's a
Cowgirls.
good
You know,
one.
they first off, they always get their music started on time. Don't have to replay it. They're always out there pregame. Got a whole pregame show and a halftime show. Very
Yeah.
involved with the game. Hopefully, they could get the. Even though I got the St. Francis student section set, hopefully they could bring out the touchdown tarp from Salinas because that's maybe the
Yeah.
coolest celebration. If you've never seen a game at the pit, they bring out a whole. It's like a giant banner like you'd see at a soccer game.
That thing
Every
is
touchdown.
$2,500 for a piece of cloth like that.
Gee.
At least they get to break it
I
out a
looked it
bunch of
up.
times a game because they can score.
Yeah. All right, our last one. This is probably the most important one out of all this list. All-Star Snack Shack.
So many good honorable mentions, but I had to take San Benito down in Baylor country, get you some Baylor beans, get you their tri-tip. It's all thin cut like an Italian beef sandwich. Some great tri-tip around the WCAL, but they do it right down in Baylor country. That's a football town.
What about you, Coach Romero? Your All-Star Snack Shack.
Man, I went with Wilcox Snack Shack. It's always long. It's always popping. They got a linguiça sandwich that's just off the charts. You know, and, Santa Clara is a big Portuguese town, and man, they do the linguiça up over there. So
Well, for me, this is the mic drop right here. My favorite snack shack, the GSF 5-star snack shack, is the nearest Ike's location. I gotta stay loyal, man.
Yeah, you gotta get
No,
to
seriously,
Ike's.
I don't eat at games unless someone gives me free food, but I always go to Ike's before a game.
Their fried chicken,
Ooh.
A+.
Yeah.
I got the Matt Cain.
Shout out to Ike's for giving the kids
I like the
free
Marshawn
food.
Lynch.
Matt Cain.
Yeah.
Man, Matt Cain's fire.
Have you guys tried the Steph Curry?
I have not.
You're
I
missing
do.
out.
I don't.
They got the new one, the One Spartan Nation looks pretty good. They did with Brent Brennan.
That one's really good with Coach Brennan, yes.
Also, can't really count it because it's only once a year, but the Polynesian Day food at Sarah, that's
Absolutely, yes.
unreal.
I 100% agree with that.
I missed out on that. Should have got it.
You were there!
I know, but I was busy.
Oh, you left early. I stayed and I got free food.
Lines
Ah.
were huge, but it was worth it.
So here's the deal. If you guys see Ethan, if you see Coach Romero or myself at a game, hook us up.
Free
And
food
we'll
goes
talk
a long
about
way.
you.
Hey, the folks at
5-star review.
folks at SHP and SI always make sure to hook it up.
That's true. There's a couple of schools, I'm not going to name them, but there's a couple of schools, like when I go there, I feel so welcome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're like, what do you need? Do you need water? Do you want to go?
Aptos, Monte Vista Christian, really the whole PCAL.
Yeah,
They all take really good care of us.
yeah.
PCAL was fun this year, and I'm glad we got a few of their players recognized because we don't often get down beyond San Jose. Traffic's nasty, but you got some players down there. You know, you got
Maybe.
Isaiah Hunter. I got
Maybe.
Aiden Flynn.
Maybe we'll bring a fourth member the next time we do this. But, I mean, we got to close this out because we went over an hour, which is cool. Hope you guys love the B-rolls. But I just want to say to all the athletes that are on this list, don't take it personal. You know, just because you got picked later on, don't take it personal.
Yeah, not at all.
Because, you know, the way we did this is pretty much as close to the real thing, right?
Yeah.
You know, my draft priority was to pick the quarterback and I'll build from there. And then they did the same thing. And
Got to get your two-way guys.
yeah. And a lot of the guys that I have at the top of my list are on these guys' list. So, you know, it's just a matter of like building the team, really. And I had fun doing it. I hope you guys have fun doing it.
Terrific. Would love to do this again.
Great
Love
time.
to do it
Great
for
time.
basketball.
Great time.
Oh, yeah. I think basketball, we're going to have the real game. But can you imagine if we have actual game
Oh, God, this
with
would
this
be...
list? Ooh. State Farm, make it happen, baby. Come on now.
We might have to put an all-star.
You got my paperwork.
This would be just as good. Yeah, this would be right up there with the All-America game they do in San Antonio.
Yeah.
There's some major talent.
We might have to put a Bay Area All-Star game together.
So here's the deal. For all you athletes out there, make sure you keep in touch. Follow Ethan, follow Coach Romero, follow GetSportsFocus. Because we're always looking, okay? We're always looking, we're always watching, we're always reading. And when we hear positive things, that's what really catches our attention, right? And anything else you guys want to add?
Thanks for a great season. Just so many awesome games. Every league was down to the wire. Great crowds all season. Everyone was happy to be back in the stadium. This has been probably my favorite high school football season I've ever been a part of.
F you, COVID. Hey, we're down to the last weekend of high school football, so I think it's pretty cool that I get goosebumps. Look, I got goosebumps. Yeah, because dude, seriously, I thought the season was gonna get derailed at some point, and it was scary in the beginning. You know, when the first weekend.
We had a couple games wiped out, but teams did a great job. And shouts out to the teams who had a game canceled and managed to reschedule either with that same opponent or another team. Coaches had to really work through some extra hoops this year.
So a little birdie told me that next year the Sarah Padres are going to be playing Folsom to start the season. So that's going to be awesome to
Oh man,
road trip.
Wow.
Salinas got Valley Christian on the schedule.
Yeah.
They got Clovis.
Jeez.
So, but
think
we're going to
Clayton
do this
Valley.
again. We're going to talk about some other subjects. I would love to bring Ethan in on some of the whatever you call this, video podcast or whatever, and Coach Romero too. We got the GSF 7-on-7 to talk about. We got the state championship to talk about next time. But this is all about the GSF All-Star Draft, and I'm glad that we got together and we did this, and we have one more week of football, and congratulations to all the All-Star. And thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Get Sports Focus is brought to you by Summit Partners, leaders in growth equity investing. Weightsandbars.com. Build your home gym and shop locally from the Bay Area's best fitness equipment experts. Ike's Love and Sandwiches. Championship level sandwiches every single time. South Bay Construction. A reputation built on trust. And by Sunnyvale Fitness.